This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello there, and welcome to the 235th edition of Louis Black's Rantcast, entitled Kash Patel Has Crazy Eyes. Yeah, he does. Mm-hmm. And I noticed this before, but it really became more than apparent while I was watching the first the Senate hearing, then the Congressional hearing, where they were going over what he'd been doing as the head of the FBI, because you really want the head of the FBI to look like they're out of their fucking minds. And I'm going to tell you, television, in essence, doesn't lie. It's always been a really good barometer where someone's coming from, like Haldeman and Ehrlichman. Criminals? Yeah. And it appeared that way whenever they were on TV. They always seemed to, it's something, they were doing something wrong. It's something kind of over the line. And Kash Patel looks like he's out of his fucking mind. And it certainly doesn't help when he sits there and speaks and responds to certain questions. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back, take a look at it. I'm sure you can find it online because it was really spectacular. He would talk back to Congress people as if he was really the king of rock and roll. And then, of course, a lot of the Congress people just called him an outright liar and accused him of a lot of things. And you can't really expect the guy to just kind of sit there and take it. But when you've got crazy eyes, it adds another level to it. So you kind of just can't trust him when he comes back at them. I mean, he was, and he just doesn't, and I mean this, have seemed to show the kind of respect you should show when you're dealing with them. Be they right or left. And except maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few others, Boebert. I could go through a list of them. I'm not going to do that. If you didn't get to see his testimony, which was beyond belief at times, and he really just does not seem to be equipped to be the head of the FBI. I mean, part of what you were watching was him kind of floundering about, proving on all sorts of levels that he was not a good leader, and that they passed him. It is just him and Bongino, I think his name is, that these guys were passed. Bongino may not have had to be passed, but they passed. Kash Patel is really just exquisite when you watch that. When you watch the questioning of the last week, and I really had forgotten. It was just after I had finished the Rantcast that I was watching, and realized, wow, I forgot to mention the crazy eyes. So that's the reason I called it that. There's a lot of other things I could have called it, like. And this is getting harder each week. I'm just going to tell you because I just feel like an idiot because he's not Kash, but this administration keeps crossing lines that shouldn't be crossed. And so this week we had the incredible moment where they suspend Jimmy Kimmel from his late night purge, and because. And then, it becomes it's a free speech moment. And everyone said he was talking about Charlie Kirk. He didn't talk about Charlie Kirk, okay? He was talking about the way in which they were addressing his, the one who shot him. And they were coming out with initially all of the stuff that was coming out. And it was coming out from a number of people that he would say, the one who was doing it was a left-wing fanatic, and that somehow, and it was one sentence, maybe two sentences. He made no comment about Charlie Kirk or what Charlie Kirk's beliefs are, which then I read a ton of things because I didn't know who the fuck he was, and I mentioned it last week. I don't know who he was. I didn't care who he was. I didn't give a shit. I'm glad that, I'm glad that he had, these people, the president and the vice president and a number of others were really kind of felt he was an important young person. And let me tell you how that hurts to be my age and call someone who's 31 a young person, because no, that's someone who's in adulthood and rolling along. And, and they really kind of, the outpouring came. But then I'm reading stuff that, and I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not going to sit there and do research, okay? But if what they say is true, it's astonishing that he was treated in this. I mean, if what they say is true, he said things that I found really disturbing. If it's true, and I'm not going to research it. I don't know how to find out. It just seems to be that many people seem to have come out with that. But by God, what was really important is he would listen to other people. But what he was telling the campus youth was really, I mean, I get if you want to, make the point that that the campus needs to really, the campuses need to be represented by both sides, conservative and liberal. But it's a college campus. College campuses are where young people go, and young people have a tendency to be more to the left. Yeah, I know, it's a shock. But that's the way it works, okay? You start out, basically pushing the boundaries of authority. And then as you grow older, you find reasons to believe that that authority is important in some instances. I at most times don't find that, and especially now, I don't find that authority. I find that authority to be out of control, and I believe that my act in part of the reason that I was popular was not that I was a good comic, it was because I had trouble with authority, and like to point that out time and again during my act. But for God's sake, this is just really I can't fathom what occurred here. And then they come down on Jimmy Kimmel, and then they say things like the head of the FCC shoots his mouth. This is only the beginning. We're going to go after everybody who doesn't like this administration. You know what? Who doesn't like the administration, who has something to say about the administration, who's critical of it? Fucking, that's the deal. That is what presidents are for. They're there to be bitched about. They're there to give you here's why things are going shitty. And you focus on them, and it has always been that way. And this is the first guy, interestingly enough, who's deflecting it, okay? Deflecting, I get, to a point. But you don't get to say, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to grind these people under my heel. This is bullshit. Nobody should be allowed to be critical of me. What the fuck is the matter with you? You think you're the king of fucking Siam? There's a fucking 1926. And it really is. And it's probably one of those, oh boy, we're coming after you, Lewis, for saying that. But he really thinks it's just beyond belief to think. No one, the people, he's the most thin-skinned president in my lifetime, okay? And even Biden showed some flashes of it, but not even on this fucking level. They all have a touch of it. They're all a little thin-skinned. But that's the deal, okay? Right? The shit happens. Who do you blame? You blame the president. Who are you going to blame? The guy who owns the bodega? Huh? The head of ShopRite? Huh? Certainly they're going to be blaming the head of Disney. And it's unbelievable that he can't handle it. And he feels the obligation to come after it. And part of what I'll be talking about next week is that. That's the I had another title for this week, but I just said, no, I'm going to try to save that because it is just getting, the head of the FCC, we're going to come after all of you. Boy, oh boy. No, you don't get to pick enemies, all right? And then come after them and try to silence them, all right? And then I just finished reading, I'd signed a petition from the ACLU, who I've been a part of. I don't agree with everything the ACLU does, okay? And I told them that from the beginning when I was first working with them. On what? Voting stuff. On voters' rights is where I started, because I think that's fucking important, all right? More important every day, because as they kind of go, well, if we just can make it so, draw a map so that there's 2 people living here and 900 living there and 60 here, and 100 billion here, that we can cut the state up so that we don't ever have to worry about electing people from either party. What is the fucking matter with us? God. And so, and as they push the other side, the Democrats begin to push back, and they end up in the territory they shouldn't even be fucking in. All right? But that's because they have not got an ability to speak fucking English. Because it's not that difficult to say, no, you don't get to do this. All right? You've crossed the line, and they have crossed it. And now they literally are trying to score a touchdown, and I think they went too far. And I think this because Ted Cruz, who I have no agreement with ever, came out and said, okay, now we've gone too far. Ted fucking Cruz said that the head of the FCC sounded like he was a mafia don. Huh? Imagine. Ted fucking Cruz. They even got him to wake up for 30 seconds on God damn it, the man who gets on a plane and flies out of the state because it's fucking freezing and doesn't stay there to help. But even here, he got off the plane. He got off the plane to say something to us, and it was an important thing he said. Okay, and so I just was reading in the response to this. Well, how come you didn't say this during that, and how come you avoid these celebrities and yada yada yada? I'm not a celebrity, all right, and I'm not. There was a moment I had this much at a point in time where I was well known, The Daily Show. I had my little flash. That was it. But there's celebrity, and then there's wherever I am, which is called lucky. And to think, and that somehow there's this, I don't listen to celebrities, good. But you feel the need to write back on this. It's about it's about what he said, and it's about free speech. All right? And when you bring up Roseanne Barr and you bring up Tucker Carlson, there are things that were being said by them that crossed the line to many people, okay? And you see this as him crossing the line, Mr. Kimmel. Well, he wasn't selling enough popcorn. But yeah, and you're using that as an excuse. Well, then say that, okay? Say we're throwing him off the air because his ratings stink. But he's got 1 million people watching every night, so that doesn't seem to be so terrible to me. And of course, others, what's his name seemed to have, Charlie Kirk seemed to have 5 million viewers, but not every single night. No, he just had 5 million who followers, as they put it. But are they checking it every day? No. And it's the equivalent of Kimmel, who did 5 nights of work. And I'm sitting here babbling, and I cannot get over it. So I signed that, and then so I went and looked at some article to see who else had signed it, because there's 400. I guess I'll be saying aloha or something similar as I head out to wherever it is they're going to send us. But I fucking posted something on Twitter, X. And I hadn't done it in a long time. Also the same week that I did this, something that was really pleased with says the writers did a great job of writing about Labubu's, and I'm hoping to make a Lulabubu, and they had a little joke about that, and I'm hoping to make one that we sell in my merch store to raise money for all of the things that I think for the charities that are out there that need the money now more than ever because it's been cut by the one that they think is such a fucking genius. Woo. And they just will not let go. Everything is dependent. Well, he got him thrown off the air because no, you don't. If you really do think you're doing a great job and that everything that you do is the best ever and the most important thing, and you think that the Kennedy Center should be named after you, are you shitting me? It was done to memorialize the guy, okay? Son of a bitch. And you're gonna step on that? Fuck you. Fuck you. That's what I got. And fuck you again. That's the kind of crap. Okay? You'll have a ton of shit named after you. So don't worry about it. And they can put it up in gold lettering. You can call it the Donald Trump Ballroom. Because his balls were, okay. And enough is fucking enough. All right? If you feel that you have been this kind of the all-powerful odds and that no one has been a better leader than you and no one has created an economy, but if you believe all that shit, zip it when it comes to the criticism. Why would you worry about it? You know how great you've done. Crap, you went to England and they did everything but make you everything but knight you. According to you. And I'm surprised you didn't say, they'll be knighting me when I'm out of here, and I'll be the first American knighted. They'd never do this for anybody else. Then fucking that's all you got to tell us. If they keep it out of everything else, stop attacking the people who literally criticize you. If you think you are beyond criticism, and most presidents do, okay? They they go home and weep about it at night over a fucking burger. Son of a bitch. And I can't even imagine what's coming up next week. Okay? Because you have crossed too many lines. I just picked this up. I was cleaning up my desk today. Because the shit piles up. And I can't even get to this stuff. And so this is a while back. This is just the headline. Pardon for a donor's son after $1 million dinner. Tax sheet spared by Trump in time to avoid prison and a $4.4 million penalty. His mother had been a huge, collected a ton of money for the Republicans. You want me to? I'll read you the article. I'm not going to. And then she went to a dinner at Mar-a-Lago or something or wherever, and I had $1 million. It was $1 million to sit there. And approached Trump, and just a few weeks later, the kid is pardoned. Are you kidding me? And then people don't see this, all right? And I'm sure the Democrats have done it too, and I'm sure the Republican presidents have done it before too, and that shit's got to stop. But you crossed the line there. And that's really it for me, okay? I'll go on and on next week. But I've started to talk about it. So I put this quote on Twitter about how, and really all it was saying was what I talked about today, and it ended with the lifeblood of democracy is the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech is the lifeblood of democracy. And I'm done with Twitter. That's it. A lot of the responses that I got were just vicious, mean, disturbing, ugly. No need. Not a discussion. Just to go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. You old piece of shit. You're not funny anymore. Not a response to what I said. Some of them responded, well, where were you when they let go of these people? Where were you then? I don't know. Okay? But I do know that this is, I've got an FCC guy, I've got some people saying stuff that wasn't said back then. And it certainly wasn't said. It wasn't the president saying, we're going to get rid of the Roseanne Barr and then we're going to come after the others. No. It was during and so I just sat there going that I can't be, I cannot say things that allow people to say things that are just cross a line to me. And do I take it seriously? Yeah. Do I find it, does it hurt? Yeah, it does. Only because I thought we were better than that. All right. And if, and some people wrote some, arguments back. Great. Perfect. But most of what was written back was like, you're a piece of shit, and said in a number of ways. And it and I said nothing in there to insult these people on that level. It's important to them to allow their anger to come out. Go to a fucking football game, okay? Or a soccer match, or watch the baseball playoffs and scream for the team you like, okay? Then sit in the privacy of your own home and yell whatever the fuck you want, okay? That's where you let it rip. That's why we have competition. Not for you to sit around looking at Twitter going, who can I tell that they're a piece of shit and how they've ruined everything? Fuck you. So enough of that. Boy, he's made it a home of free speech. He's made it a home of mean-spirited, disturbing, ugly speech. He's made it a home for very, very ugly speech. Okay? He's made it a home for places that divide. He made it a home for a division. And that's that. Now, I'm moving on. I'll read you a couple of things, and then that'll be that. This is an old one. A Texas school district has removed Virginia's state flag from its online learning platform because it depicts the bare breast of the Roman goddess Virtus. I probably pronounced that wrong. The Lamar Consolidated Independent School District, this is in Texas, deleted a section about Virginia's history on the grounds that the flag violated the district's ban on visual depictions or illustrations of frontal nudity in elementary school materials. The flag, adopted in 1861, shows Virtus standing over a defeated tyrant above the state's motto, Sic Semper Tyrannis. Wow. Wow. Yes, sir, Bob. We can't even handle a breast being shown on a fucking flag. And it's right out there. What do you do? What is it, the fuck is the matter with people? Children are a lot more mature than adults, that's for sure. Because they're looking for it in other places. Just the way I did. Just the way you fucking did. God damn it. And I meant that for those idiots. I hope you understand that. And I can't remember if I read this before, but I'm going to read it again because it's too much. Reality TV producer Rob Warsoff revealed he pitched the Department of Homeland Security on a game show in which desperate immigrants would compete for the prize of U.S. citizenship. What planet am I living on? The desperate immigrants would compete for the prize of U.S. citizenship. The show, which has the working title, The American, would be a celebration of America, said Warsoff. It's not the Hunger Games. No, it's worse, because it's not fiction, asshole. All right? It's disgusting. You had the idea, and it's a disgusting idea. And that'll show where we're at. We have no sense anymore. We've lost all common sense. And, you said that to a friend, and they said, yeah, why don't you pitch that? I wouldn't trust my friends who wouldn't see that as a joke. You might want to do it as a really mean, dark joke. That's all. Not as a, boy, this would be good. When I was a kid, they had a thing on at 3:30 in the afternoon or 4 called Queen for a Day, in which 3 housewives would come on who were really strapped. And they'd be giving away, they would ask for something that the family, like a refrigerator or a stove or something the family desperately needed. The audience would vote, and I'm pretty sure this is the way I remember it. And the audience would vote on it, and it was hard. It was hard. I mean, it was hard to watch. And they would vote, and instead of all 3 of these people getting something, one person would win. The other 2 are still fucked. And she would get a fridge, and then people would go wild. And she had her fridge. I mean, I'm sure we're moments away from that coming back on the air. And I'm leaving off, and God knows what comes next week. God knows what's come while I'm sitting here talking to you. I do know that on October 17th and 18th, I will be coming to Pennsylvania. There are still tickets. I would love to, get everybody in the seats. I don't know how else to do it, but to continue to sit here at the end of the show and repeat that. Because I think it'll be a pretty good show, both of them. It's, yes, will I be doing other shows? Yes. When? I don't fucking know. And I'm going to try to hopefully, I'm going to work on a couple of things that might come back as a show, but I won't be touring. Okay? This is it. And this will be my goodbye. And I'll do it in Easton, Pennsylvania, October 17th, October 18th in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the clothier. And please join me if you are around that weekend and don't have a game to go to, and you don't know it's and it would be I'd be thrilled to see you. Thank you again for the privilege and pleasure of spending time with you, and I hope you enjoy the rants that I believe are live still, and I think you'll get a kick out of them. It was a lot of fun to do, and I'll from time to time be doing that. I forgot to say that what amazed me is that my statement really got people about the lifeblood of that free speech is the lifeblood of democracy, or democracy. That also, since it came out when I was talking about these Labubus, that the free speech crushed the Labubu in terms of the really funny one. And I think a lot of it had to do with a lot of the people. It's just people would rather get all riled up. And the funny one didn't get it because I think as I've said before, we've forgotten how to laugh. I'm certainly losing that ability daily. Here's hoping it's a good week. Here's hoping things turn around. Here's hoping Ted Cruz talks to other people. Here's hoping that somebody finally says, you should be ashamed of yourself, Donald. Let's hope. It's all we got. It's what we have, and let's do it. Take care of yourselves, and a very happy New Year. As I'm doing this on the night that Rosh Hashanah begins. And have yourself a dandy Yom Kippur. And of course, when I finish the Rantcast within a few hours, what do they announce? Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air tomorrow, which would be, I guess, a big Rosh Hashanah gift. Oh, boy. Unbelievable. And probably because of Ted Cruz. He probably pushed the needle on that. And I'm sure that the head of the FCC will be fired, and I'll be getting some calls congratulating me on signing this petition and really making it all happen. It was really my name that did it. Oh boy, we have to go through this. I mean, I don't even know. The trouble with me doing these things at the, I try to get it on the air, and it doesn't matter. I'm like, it goes to prove my point. Within 24 hours, it changes, and this was a nice change, and so and they've just improved his ratings probably for tomorrow, and people will be yelling and screaming and just lactating. But many men will be who are so viciously angry about this will be lactating black milk, and that's all I got to say. Glad I could break some news. Boy.
We're coming to you live tonight from Los Angeles, California, at the beautiful Orpheum Theater, and it's a pleasure to be here without a fire raging 12 feet away. I'm just going to tell you, it's a city you should visit. It's an important city, but look at and see what the fuck's happening before you come. Okay, because it could be anything from a monsoon that lasts for 2 or 3 weeks, and you go, fuck, I'm fucked. Pay attention. Just pay attention. I don't know how the fuckers survive here, but they do a good job. And so we begin with Patty Ferman. If you're so great, why am I sitting in row Q in the fucking balcony with a cheesy aisle seat motherfucker who only likes aisle seats on planes beside me, while the rest of the damn, while the rest of the damn theater isn't full? Well, Patty, I don't know. I have no understanding of why. I'm sorry that the rest of the theater isn't full. I'm glad you felt the need to remind me. Was I supposed to then go around picking people out of the audience and go, please, I know that I have to prepare for tonight's show, but really I would rather try to find you a seat further up. And I want to get you away from the cheesy motherfucker. Thank you for that, Patty. This is from Mike Player. Dear Lewis, Jesus Christ, why are there no public restrooms anywhere in Los Angeles? If you're like me, you have to pee every 30 minutes. I'm not, Mike. I'm tired of going to motherfucking Home Depot and pretending I need to buy spackle when I really just want to use the John. How is it that every fucking gas station bathroom is out of order at the same time? Nobody wants to clean them up, that's why. I've taken to bringing a pee bottle with me in the car. Men have that option. But do you know how guilty our faces look? Park outside an Applebee's using a pee bottle? Or are all LA drivers supposed to carry composting toilets around with us in the back seat? God, I hate Apple. The only choice is to just hold it. Oh yes, there's nothing like speeding through a red light at an intersection with a bursting bladder. I'd write more, but I have to pee. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Rafael Carlos. I'm at the show. On the way here, I stepped in human shit. I wasn't sure people would laugh at that, Rafael, but I'm glad that they did. I'm wearing flip-flops. The people next to me have been looking around for where this terrible smell is coming from. Fuck them. And fuck LA, I paid for this show, and I'm going to enjoy it. I just hope you're not in row Q, Rafael. Matt Flood. In my government job, I have to write the 5 things I did this week to a random DOGE inbox to some loser named Jules Hurst III. Seriously, they use that name 3 fucking times. Is that true? You really fucking have to do that, Matt? You timed that well. Thank you. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that they still make you do that. And that a guy's name is Jules Hurst III. And that you picked up on it and the audience didn't. Jody Bloom. Should I move to Australia? Well, sure. Why not? And tell me what it's like. One thing you're going to have to know to move to Australia, Jody, is to get your shit there. And you know how far it is? I've been to Australia. And you fly, and then you fly, and then you fly. And then you fly some more, and then you fly some more. And then you fly, and you keep flying. And you say, is this ever going to end? And you know what, Jody? It's not. I've said this time and again, there will come a time, let's say 1,400 hours into the flight, where you will walk into the bathroom and actually think about putting your head into that hole and flushing it and hoping that your head is sucked off. I don't know. I mean, I'd go to New Zealand. I mean, as long as you're that far, fuck it. And Ashley Shavoria. This is so bitter, I love it. It bothers me how parents tell others how old their baby is in months. Like, do I really need to know that your baby is 28 months old? Also, I don't like it when couples say, we are pregnant. I also don't like when people say that childbirth is beautiful. Newborns aren't beautiful either. Actually, I mean, I have trouble with having, I've not had children, but this is, I'm glad you could share that. But I would, that's a lot. I just think there was one thing too many. And so maybe a little time with a therapist just to kind of get it. No, seriously. Not that I'm not judging you. I'm just thinking you're carrying something here that I don't fully understand. I mean, I have trouble with the idea of people having children, and I certainly don't like we are pregnant. That makes me nuts. But just as a friend, someone who sees a therapist, and as you can see how well it's helped. I'm reading another one by Mike Player because I enjoyed it so much. Since you're in Los Angeles, I thought the following rant would be appropriate. Why the fuck do we have to get old? I was just minding my business being 23 and bam, I'm 66. I'm in decent shape, eat vegetables, and try to think happy fucking thoughts. But no, I now have to take a fucking sleep apnea test to see if I'll need to wear a motherfucking gas mask to bed from now on. I already wear a mouth guard. Why don't they just stuff an air conditioning unit down my mouth? I'll end up having more Frankenstein shit stuck in my face than the guy in Hellraiser movies. Plus, I just got diagnosed with AFib. It's a fun heart malfunction where your goddamn heart just starts pounding out of control. They asked me what my triggers could be. Let me think. Could it be Trump? How about the orange talking monkey twat asswipe in the White House, huh? He makes that greaseball Nixon seem like Sandy Duncan. Of course, Most of the audience won't know who Sandy Duncan is. Why? Because I'm so fucking old. Thank you, Mike. And somebody wrote in someone named Concerned Citizen wrote something in that I won't be reading, but I wanted them to know that I will read it eventually. And the only reason I didn't read it is because people would go nuts, and I didn't want to just have a discussion with you. So we'll do it another time. No. Look, I'm sorry. I was talking to him. I wasn't talking to you. I'm serious. Then fucking tune in and you'll see it. Fucking unbelievable. I don't want to do it in front of it. I'm trying. We're doing really well here. Son of a bitch. This is from Jasmine M. My gym is a fucking freak show. I'm at the gym every other day, so here's a sample of what I have to look at all the time. A guy who wears his bulletproof jacket every time. A guy whose hair can only be described as Ren and Stimpy. Or another who's bald except for a razor-thin mohawk and ponytail. Girls/women who the fatter they are, the shorter and tighter their clothes are, and the more skin and cleavage they have to show. Men are no exception, with shorts so tight they crawl up inside their asses. A 30 to 40-year-old man with braided pigtails. A man with a long-sleeved hoodie zipped all the way up, with the hood over their head. A baseball cap over the hood. And headphones over that. Women who go in the sauna completely dressed in long pants, a sweatshirt, sneakers, and of course their bones. A woman who's had so much silicone injected that her butt looks like the bear in the Jungle Book. Her lips look like Daffy Duck, and her breasts are so big that her head looks about a third as big in comparison. A 6'5" man with a white dish towel hanging on his head. Headphones over the towel, and dark reflective sunglasses. A man in a tight hoodie, zipped all the way up. A wool beanie, dark reflected wraparound glasses, a big pearl earring, and two huge 2-inch wide gold chains hanging over the hoodie to complete the ensemble. And a guy who yells at the top of his lungs with each and every rep he does so loudly I can't hear what's playing on my headset. Let's not forget those that now think it's appropriate to wear open-toed sandals and flip-flops instead of sneakers. I hope I'm around that day that a heavyweight falls on them and crushes their feet. And those who think they are so important that they never, ever re-rack their weights despite multiple signs all over the gym, leaving sometimes 1,000 pounds or more for someone else to put away just so they can use the equipment. Wow, I mean, how have you not left? I mean, at that point, if these are the people you're seeing, wouldn't you think, Jasmine, that you just go, well, you know, before you even get to the 1,000 pounds, 2 guys in hoodies, Jesus. And then there's the majority of people who can't seem to put their phone down for the length of their workout. Some look at their phones while they're actually lifting weights, while others pick their phone back up every 10 seconds after each set and stay on it for anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes and even longer. I once asked someone if he was done since he'd been playing with his phone for 25 minutes, and he started yelling at me, and he threw my towel in my face. I don't know what's so fucking important that they can't put their phones down long enough to work out and get out of there. I've been working out since 1982. Back then I had my Walkman, stuck a tape in for the duration, and did my thing. Whatever happened to common courtesy, huh? Cell phones should be prohibited at the gym, period. I rest between sets for 10 seconds, and I just look at the people walking back and forth. If my eyes could kill, 85% of the people there would be dead. Well, Jasmine, remember what I said tonight. They will be. But you might too. You may want to take a little time away from that gym. Find a fun gym. Find a gym where there doesn't seem to be a group of serial killers wandering around. I think that would be smart. I want to thank you all for coming out this evening and spending time. And all of those from whoever watched this evening, whoever watched the Rantcast, I deeply appreciate it. We've got 2 more of these live. One tomorrow night from San Diego, so if you've got something to say, send it on. And then we end, because I thought, what a good place to end. Of all the places you'd want to end the run. Yeah, let's go Los Angeles, San Diego, Sacramento. Missouri. Even just saying it, my head reels. I just want to I got a lot of friends in Los Angeles, and I want to thank them all for coming out and being supportive, because it meant a lot. And, as much as I find this one of the strangest places I've ever been on the planet Earth, it's given me a great deal of joy to spend time out here, I have to say. And where else would I have felt the earth move? Under my feet. And I did on a number of occasions, and how you deal with that is beyond me. And if ever, and I believe this will happen, if you look at that mountain range and you see a giant dinosaur just wandering about, think of me. Thank you, Los Angeles. Good night. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.